Welcome friends, here we discuss the frequently asked question of the topic nervous system taken from the subject anatomy and physiology. Let's begin with the question. First, acetylcholine esterase. Next, in Alzheimer's disease, which peptide level will increase? That is beta amyloid. Next, in the central nervous system, the main excitatory neurotransmitter is glutamate. Next, tongue bite is common in which phase of seizure? That is clonic phase. Next, which of the following is a building block of membrane of nerve tissue? That is sphingomyelin. Next, which of the following type of cells work as scavenger cells in the central nervous system? Answer is microglia. Next, speech center is situated in parietal lobe. Next, the substance that is isolated from the brain and produce fatty acid, galactose and sphingosine upon hydrolysis is known as glycolipids. Next, Down syndrome is caused by trisomy of 21st chromosome. Next, the nerve which carries message from the brain and spinal cord to muscles and gland called motor nerve. Next, gap in myelin sheath are called as node of Ranvier. Next, what type of signals are used by the nervous system to communicate? That is electrical and chemical. Next, Parkinson's disease is due to lesion in the basal ganglia. Next, which part of the brain is concerned with maintenance of posture and balance? That is cerebellum. Next, somatic nervous system is made up of motor neurons. Next, electroencephalogram EEG is done for the function of brain. Next, sympathetic nervous system is associated with fight and flight response. Next, neuroglial cells support and provide nutrition for the neurons. Next, sudden movement of potassium ions across the cell membrane to the outside of a nerve cell cause repolarization. Next, cranial nerves arise from the brain. Next, axon and dendrites are the part of neuron. Next, how many types of peripheral nerves are present? That is 2 types. Next, depolarization of the cell membrane involves sodium channel opening to allow sodium influx. Next, nervous system is a rapid communication system. Next, Alzheimer's disease is associated with deficiency of acetylcholine neurotransmitter or cholinergic neuron. Next, inability to sleep is termed as insomnia. Next, which among the following is a structural and functional unit of nervous system? That is neuron. Next, repolarization and depolarization of a nerve cell membrane is called as action potential. Next, a nerve impulse is first received by dendrite. Next, a multipolar neuron has more than one dendrite attached to the cell body. Next, most frequently occurring brain tumor is glioma. Next, respiratory centers are stimulated by carbon dioxide. Next, the impairment of learning and memory in Alzheimer's disease is associated with loss of cholinergic neurons from which of the following area, that is forebrain nuclei. Next, neurons that carry impulse away from the central nervous system are called efferent nerves. Next, what is the space between a neuron and the following neuron, muscles or gland that it stimulates, called synaptic cleft. Next, during salutary condition, a nerve impulse jumps from one node of Ranvier to another. Next, most common site of intracranial hemorrhage is basal ganglia. Next, the master endocrine gland present in the human body is anterior pituitary. Next, which sequence of ion movement describes the action potential? Sodium moves inside the cell, then potassium moves outside of the cell. Next, postsynaptic membrane are found in dendrites. Next, what are the major types of nerve cells in the central nervous system? That is multipolar. Next, commonest site of brain abscess is temporal. Next, which of the following is cardinal sign? That is temperature. Next, which of the following neurotransmitter is not a biogenic amine? That is neuropeptide. Next, exoplasm is a cytoplasm of axon. Next, central nervous system includes the spinal nerve and the brain. Next, what is an action potential? The resting potential changes from -70 millivolt to +30 millivolt and then back again is called action potential. Next, voltage gated channels are primarily found on the axon. Next, which of the following is the disease of myelin sheath? That is multiple sclerosis. Next, which part of the neurons carries the action potential? That is axon. Next, which of the following is true regarding interneurons? It has short dendrites and a long or short axons. Next, what is the purpose of the myelin sheath around an axon? It prevents movement of ions through the nerve cell membrane. Next, which of the following are the part of neurons? Dendrites, axons and cell body. Next, what name is used for a nerve cell? That is neuron. Next, myelin sheath is derived from Schwann cells. Next, what is the function of the thalamus? It is a relay center. Next, nodes of Ranvier are found in myelinated nerve fibers. Next, if a person suffers a stroke and damage occurs to the occipital lobe of the brain, which function is the most likely to be affected? That is vision. Next, nasal granules are present in nerve cells. Next, one of the functions of the prefrontal cortex is making conscious decisions. Next, the epidural space is found between the dura mater and the vertebra. Next, which of the following encloses the most axons? That is epineurium. Next, which part of the brain controls emotion and experience? That is limbic system. Next, which part of the brain controls higher mental activities like reasoning? That is frontal lobe. Next, what is found in the epidural space? That is adipose tissue. Next, fluid-filled cavity in the brain is called as ventricles. Next, what is found between the arachnoid and pia mater? That is cerebrospinal fluid. Next, what connect two hemispheres of the brain? That is corpus callosum. Next, the blood-brain barrier functions to protect the brain from neurotransmitters, bacteria, and neurotoxins. Next, the outer covering of the brain is covered with nerve cells. Next, which part of the brain controls breathing, heart functions, vasoconstriction, and swallowing? That is brain stem. Next, the cerebellum is located between the cerebrum and the brain stem, which helps in balance and coordination. Next, what is the most superficial part of the brain? That is cerebral cortex. Next, which is a quick response to the stimuli that passes the brain? That is reflex action. Next, in which respect gray matter differ from the white matter? Gray matter contains the cell body of nerve cells, while white matter contains axons. Next, the blood-brain barrier refers to the tight junctions between endothelial cells of the capillaries that serves the brain. Next, the supporting and nutritive cells found in brain is astrocytes. Next, in which part of the brain the decussation of the pyramid is found? That is medulla oblongata. Next, white matter consists of myelinated neurons or axons. Next, bipolar neurons have one axon and one dendrite. Next, which part of the brain contains the motor areas and the sensory areas? That is cerebrum. Next, which of the following cell is found in peripheral nervous system? That is Schwann cells. Next, which of the following part together make up the brain stem? That is medulla oblongata, pons and midbrain. Next, preganglionic neurons lie within central nervous system. Next, what is the function of an efferent neuron? It transmits motor information. Next, spinal cord and brain are wrapped in protective membrane known as meninges. Next, what is the function of a spinal nerve? That is, it transmits both sensory and motor information. Next, peripheral nervous system of human contain how many pair of spinal nerve? That is 31. Next, a neurotransmitter is a molecule that crosses the presynaptic membrane and the synaptic cleft. Next, in the peripheral nervous system, the nerves that arise from the spinal cord and brain are called as cranial nerve. Next, the peripheral nervous system is divided into motor and sensory division. Next, nerve fibers are cytoplasmic process. Next, which statement about neurotransmitter is correct? All somatic motor neurons release acetylcholine at their synapse. Next, which system is not regulated by a center in the medulla oblongata? That is the immune system. Next, which neurotransmitter is released by all parasympathetic neurons? That is acetylcholine. Next, which of the following cranial nerve does not contain preganglionic parasympathetic fibers? That is optic 2. Next, which of the following is true about parasympathetic neurons? The synapse in the terminal ganglia either next to or within the organ innervated. Next, which of the following is released by parasympathetic nervous system? That is acetylcholine. Next, nervous system that commands to the skeletal muscle called somatic nervous system. Next, parasympathetic nerve arises from which region of the nervous system? That is craniosacral. Next, what is a spinal reflex? It is a predictable, unlearned and involuntary motor response. Next, the outermost nucleated cytoplasmic layer of the Schwann cell called neurolemma or neurolemmocytes. Next, the brain area that most directly controls the activity of the autonomic nervous system is the medulla oblongata. Next, the nervous system is divided into two divisions, that is central and peripheral. Next, catecholamine is derived from tyrosine. Next, which part of the nervous system prepares the body for action during extreme situations? That is sympathetic nervous system. Next, which of the following ganglia is not a collateral ganglia? That is cervical. Next, autonomic nervous system affects visceral organs. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.